Hey guys, just going to work on another quick product review. This is a new product I've never tested before. I don't know much about it other than I just did a bunch of research online trying to find a microphone that I would be able to plug into my cell phone to get better audio recording while I'm doing these kind of videos. I have been using exclusively using a Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus for all my video, which is what's recording right now. Just the stock speakers and the camera that comes with the Galaxy Note 10 Plus. I'm not using any accessories or anything for the video right now, so I'm hoping that I can take a video of this and then have the audio recorded. I'm gonna open the box here in a second and just kind of go through the stuff that comes with the microphone itself, and then I'm going to take a series of videos with and without the microphone, and then making adjustments on the microphone while I'm using it. This is actually also a tutorial for me to figure out what the differences are with the microphone itself, to see what it changes with the audio, changing the volume and changing the gain. If it's picking up, if changing the volume means it's actually increasing the volume that it's recording, or that when you do playback it'll increase the volume. Like I said, I'm really new to this, so I'm just trying to figure some of this out, so it'll actually be helpful if you're able to go into the comment section if you know more about this than what you see in the video while I'm going through it. Then you can actually give me tips, because I'm trying to learn how to use this equipment too. So I'm just gonna open the box now and see what's in it. The brand is Comica and the model number, and you'll find this in the description, and I'll send the link to the description. This is something I got from Amazon, so this is STM-USB. That's the model number on this particular microphone here. So let's see how you get into the box. Alright, so the box folds open from the bottom this way. There's some kind of cloth bag, probably keep the microphone in when it's not in use. Here's the instructions on how to use it, I'm guessing. There's probably going to be a little bit of this assembly that I'll do off screen. So this is kind of a quick user manual. So the parts that are included, how to put it together from your phone depending on which cable you need to use, how to put the audio into the actual microphone itself, running the little tripod stand. It's got if external boom arm is needed, there's actually a quarter 20 mount. It's a standard mount in a lot of the film industry stuff, but you can put a little arm on there if you need to move the arm around. I'll probably just be using a little tripod. Kind of goes over each individual part on the microphone itself. There's the shield. It talks about functions, gain control. Looks like kind of more dismantling the base of it. This has whether you should use the cardioid pickup or bidirectional. So cardioid is, I'm guessing it looks more like it's just for one person's in front of the mic, but bidirectional is if you've got multiple people on either side of the mic. Again, I'm kind of learning this stuff as I go. So looks like the back is all just instructions in a different language, and then it's got kind of the specs, decibels and power consumption, what kind of outputs it has, which is the USB-C, which is why I picked this one, because it comes stock with USB-C. So let's see how to get the rest of this out. So there's the shield. The shield, as far as I can tell, is when you're speaking. I don't think it's necessarily it's not like a spit shield, but I think this helps to filter some of the scratchiness in your voice. I'll be learning more about the specifics on what the shield does these look like the two different types of cables. There should be a USB cable, and then the other one is going to be a, so this is the USB to C, that's the C type. I don't know if that's zooming or not, but the C type is the oval, and then that's the standard computer USB. That's not the one I'm going to be using. I could use that if I was recording to a laptop or something, but this is the one that I'm going to use because my phone is USB-C and the microphone is USB-C, so this is the cable that I'm going to use. And then this is the microphone itself. Good looking microphone. I like it. There's the microphones itself are in here. This is the switch from the Cardioid to the bi-directional. There's your, if you want to have earmuffs, you can actually, I believe I read in the description on this, you can actively listen to the audio while it's being recorded to make sure that it's recording what you want. There's a mute button on here. This is the volume control, and then this is the gain. I don't know how gain works in particular on a microphone, what the gain is doing, but these, like I said, these are things that I'm going to be learning while I'm walking through this kind of stuff. But there's the USB-C port, so that's where the cable's going to go from the bottom there. The shield just slips through the hole in the bottom here to go onto the microphone. And then there should be a tripod base in here and a little swivel type mount. So there's the base, and these are the mount parts. So that's it for what's in the box. I've got everything out now, and kind of go through the setup on the mount now. More than likely this will be something I'm going to actually need to look at the directions to figure out. Looks like they have two different options for, looks like this is the one that threads into here. That's the base on that. And then this, how this works is you take this nut off the threads on the bottom, and then you can run the speaker through your shield into the base, and then put this back on, and that's what makes it so that the USB cable can run through without running into anything. So now it's attached to the base. This is, let's see, looks like this is going to go up. Pretty sure this is all the way screwed in. So that's kind of a stop on that. And then probably, because of the way this thing looks like it should be weighted, I'll probably put this way and tilt that back, center the shield, turn this wheel back here to lock that in. That looks like that's pretty much it for putting it together. There's not an external power on this thing, so everything is going to be running off the phone. I think I remember something reading that if you're not using this thing, don't just constantly have your phone plugged in and just running off of it for no reason. Just gonna look real quick, see if there's anything else. Alright, so this thing is the additional accessory that has the 1/4 mount, so that you can attach this to the side on the back of this thing so that it'll adjust your, you can put your boom arm in there, and then you can move the microphone around if you want. You can see there's a hole right here, and it's actually been milled flat. The threads are milled flat on either side, so this goes through right here, and that's what makes it so that you can attach a boom arm so that you can turn this thing around and move it around how you want. There's a lock wheel on the base here, it looks like. It's either really tight or I just don't need to loosen it up, but I think as far as putting it together, looks like everything's already put together, so I'm going to stop this part and get the microphone hooked up and kind of get better set up where the camera is more directly towards me, and then I can do the audio recording and mess with the volume and the gain and see what that sounds like with the mic versus pre-mic, you know, just my Note 5, that's my old phone, Note 10 Plus without the mic, and then with the mic, and then making adjustments on the mic and then see what the differences are. This is with my phone only. I have everything set up where I want it. The microphone's going to stay where it is. The tripod's going to stay where it is, so this is going to be the same distance. So this is just the phone, Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus, shooting video, recording video, and recording with the stock audio. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in the microphone itself. I'll have the gain and the volume all the way down, and I'll continue video recording with audio with the microphone plugged in. I'll mess with the gain, I'll mess with the volume, and then I'm also going to plug in a set of earphones and see what the differences are, if I can hear the differences, because it says that you can kind of live track whether or not the microphone is recording the way you want it to record. So I'm going to put the earphones on, and that'll hopefully give me an idea on the differences in the gain and the differences in the volume, instead of just waiting until after, when I go to edit and listening. I'll actually be able to listen while I'm recording, so that'll be kind of another additional feature that'll be nice to have. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in the USB-C to the phone now. So now, the same setup I had before, I have the microphone plugged into the phone, and when I plugged in the microphone to the phone, the screen did say recording through the external headset. So I've got a light that's blinking on the microphone now. I believe that must be telling me that the microphone is recording correctly. Get to the English side of this. So let's see. I've got, yeah, working indicator light. That's what that's called. So I don't know if you can already tell a big difference with the microphone plugged in or not, if it's picking up other sounds. I've got it on the bi-directional now, so I'm going to switch it because it's just me in here. I'm going to switch it to the Cardioid. So this is Cardioid now. The recording should be different. The way that it shows it on here is a difference in, looks like the way that it's picking up the sound waves here. This is the Cardioid, which is what it's in, well, this is the bi-directional, which is what it was in when I first started recording, and I just switched it to the Cardioid. So the bi-directional versus single direction, looks like the space, I'm not sure if I'm using the right terms, but the area that it's picking up the audio is bigger, wider, probably a stronger recording signal with the Cardioid, versus smaller. Even though it's two circles, they're smaller than the one with the Cardioid. Like I said, I don't know much about this. If you know a lot about this, please comment, because you'll be helping me out a lot. But I'm going to go ahead and mess with the volume, so not changing in my tone, not changing anything with the way that I'm actually saying anything into the camera. I'm just adjusting the volume level up. So the volume level has gone from all the way down to all the way up. So if I'm keeping my voice the same level, then that should have an effect on the recording volume, is what my guess is on the volume part of this. I'm gonna bring the volume up and leave the volume somewhere in the middle. And then now I'm going to adjust the gain. The gain is all the way down, and as I'm adjusting the gain, I'm about to middle now on the gain, and then the gain is almost all the way to the top. So the difference that makes in the gain, I'll be able to pick up when I go into the to do the editing and I watch the video. I should be able to see what the difference in that is. I don't know enough about gain and what the volume control on the mic is to be able to tell you without going into the video. So in order to hopefully kind of fix that, and one of the features of this is I can put on a set of headphones, and if I have the headphones on, I'm supposed to be able to listen to the way that the microphone is recording live. So I should be able to hear myself in the microphone or in the earmuffs while the microphone is still recording. So let me go ahead and do that. Let me get this plugged in, and I'll drop the earmuffs down. Alright, so now I'm plugged into the microphone with the earmuffs, so hopefully the audio is still working. I still have the gain at half and the volume is still at half, so I'm just going to mess with this and kind of talk through it and see what I notice in the sound. Like I said, I appreciate if anybody knows more of this than I do, because you'll be able to help me out with a lot with the audio recording, and I hope this is a lot better option. I believe this mic was about 120 bucks, which I did a good bit of research trying to find a microphone that had the USB-C to go straight into my phone. It also has the standard USB, so I would be able to plug it into something else if I was recording, if I needed to record straight to like a hard drive on a desktop or a laptop. But and I probably look like Princess Leia, so I'm going to get these down so that I can start looking at listening to the sound and see what the difference in the volume makes. So I'm going to go ahead and do this real quick. So let's see, I can hear myself a little bit. I'm going to turn the volume up a little bit and see if the volume goes up any higher. I can hear a good bit more in the room now. I don't know if you've been listening, but you're probably hearing the washing machine running in the next room. So the volume on this has a lot of lower area in it that's not doing too much. About the bottom third, I would say, from listening to these are not high-end studio headphones. I bought these on Amazon too, so I'll eventually do a review on them, but I strictly bought these I bought these Behringer headphones from Amazon. I don't even remember how much they were, maybe 25 bucks, but I bought them so the kids would have something to use when they're playing on their keyboard and can play without having to bother everybody in the house. So if you're a parent, you know what that's like. So I'm turning the volume up, and about in the beginning of the video you can see where the circle is around the knob, and then there's actually on the right side there's kind of the dash lines where it starts minimum and then the dash line gets wider. So that's minimum volume and then to max volume, and it's the same with the gain. It starts with minimal gain and then opens up and it's a wider stripe at the bottom for the max gain. So the audio almost kind of stays within the range of the white lines. So if I'm in the middle of the white lines, you kind of get that feeling where you put these on and it's almost like you can hear the kind of smaller noises, almost like you become Superman, and then you turn it up even higher and it's really detailed. These aren't completely noise canceling, so I can still hear something outside, even though I might even be hearing it through the microphone picking it up at this point. But I'm going to put the volume at the halfway point on the white lines now. You can kind of hear me bumping the microphone, and I have the microphone about 2 feet away. Maybe I'm supposed to have that closer and that'll help with recording, but not sure how I do that without having it right up in my face, and I don't really want the microphone in my face in between me and the camera, but there's probably tricks to figuring that out too. So I'm just gonna mess with the gain here and just see if what the difference is in the gain. It almost sounds like it's making what it's picking up deeper, like my voice seems deeper, maybe clearer. It kind of goes away, even though I can still tell that I'm recording because I have the volume up. When I start turning the gain, it seems like on the gain itself it's helping with the strength of the sound, if that makes sense. I don't know, that's kind of a weird way to put it, but I don't know how else to put it. I'm just kind of going by what I'm messing with here. And then there's a mute button on the sides here, so if I hit mute, you should see me looking like I'm talking, but I'm not talking anymore, so I won't say anything super important you're gonna miss, but I'm just gonna mess with the mute for a second. This is turning the microphone back on, mute's off now. I've got the volume all the way up. I've got the gain in the middle. I'm going to drop the volume to the middle. Again, hopefully this is going to help a lot with the quality of the audio recording, because I can move the microphone. If I were to put the microphone up closer like this, then of course this sounds more like something where I'm somebody that's in a recording studio, or somebody that you hear doing like a podcast. This is much closer. Most of the videos I have, if I'm doing a review or I'm doing a project, I'm away from the camera. I'm not that close to the camera, so you know, obviously you can see the mic is between me and you now, but I'm going to switch to the bidirectional. I don't know that that's going to change anything, but I just want to hear what that sounds like, if I can tell any difference. So now I'm on the bidirectional. It did change something. I think I can hear more of background noise now that I wasn't hearing before. So the cardioid, which I don't know exactly what that means, but the cardioid seems like that's like only catching most of what I'm saying. So as you can tell up close, now I sound like I'm a news reporter, radio news on the news recording something, or I'm going to put this back where it was in front of me for now, because I don't want to hold that, but that'd be something to look into. If you're going to set up at a station and you want to be able to record, maybe you want to have that microphone closer. I didn't see anything about them telling what distance you want I mean, it doesn't say anything about how to use this thing. It's literally just how to put it together and then what the buttons and the controls do. So, yeah, I would have to figure out more of the production type stuff from somewhere else, because this doesn't have anything in here about how to use it, which would be what I would be interested in. As I said before, I'm starting from scratch. First time I've ever had a mic. So if you have some suggestions on kind of how to bypass tinkering with this thing to try to figure it out, maybe you have some just kind of a heads up. You might even have a really good link to another web page that explains how to use a mic well. So if you have that, just put that in the comment section. If you like the video, if you're looking for this particular model, it's going to be in the description. I'll have a link to Amazon. I'll have the part number for the Amazon part, so you can look it up either way. But hopefully this just helps if people are looking to find a microphone that does all these features. It's got the shield, it's got the external ability to listen through headphones, so you can listen live instead of having to wait until you go to edit. It has bidirectional and cardioid options. It has full gain control all the way down to pretty substantial as far as I can tell, and the same with the volume all the way down. And then the volume it doesn't get loud. It's not like it's not really hurting my ears, but I can definitely hear myself better if I turn the audio up. It's a really small form factor. It's really clean. I think the design is actually really nice. I think the company actually spent time on the design. It's not cheap plastic. Almost everything on it is on the microphone itself. It's like a metal casing with metal wire mesh. The screen itself is well made. The shield, I mean, if you dropped it, I'm guessing you could probably break the shield because it's just plastic arms. But it comes with a little small tripod stand. It might be nice to have something that's more of like a clamp-on option to clamp it onto the side of a table if you're working on a table, or if you're working out in a shop somewhere and you want to be able to clamp it on real quick to be able to do it. But I think it might have the size of the thread. Yeah, so the thread that goes into the top on the top of the tripod is actually 3/8.
So if I needed to, I could go and find something that was 3/8 to be able to make that adaptation if I wasn't going to use the tripod. But for just sitting right in front of it here, I could even move further forward in. At this point, you could probably see the ring light in my eyes now. I mentioned that in another video, but didn't realize I was so far away from the camera that you couldn't see it anyway. But yeah, hopefully this will just help you with a decision on what microphone you're looking for. And as I said, please just, you know, understand I'm new. I'm just trying to figure this out. But if you have some additional information that might help me out with how to use the microphone better, by all means, you know, help me out with that. And I'm going to close with that for now. I think it's just going to take getting into the editing and recording more video and just making sure that the distance with the camera and with the lighting and with the microphone, I gotta kind of map all these things out so they're all working together. So I appreciate the feedback. Like the video, comment on the video, share the video, share the channel, subscribe to the channel. I'm, you know, trying my best to make this content that people would want to watch so that I can continue building a kind of a fan base and do this more often and do more reviews and post more videos. So I appreciate y'all checking it out. Thank you for your time.